they talk so much about the importance of networking and
Yeah.
building their community. And so could you talk a little bit about how maybe you've leveraged that to for the success that you've had now?
No, absolutely. Like, the saying your network is your net worth is such a true statement, and just being able to, oftentimes we think we have to go like meet new people and foster new people and try to get new business. Let's focus on the people that we know. And let's focus. Number one, focus on the network that you already have and then leverage their network. And I think that's the part where we get it wrong. Again, like I said, we exhaust ourselves trying to just create these whole new networks when you have so much value in the networks that you already have, and then leveraging the networks of the people that you are, the circles that you already are in, so, but then in terms of like, where networking has gotten me in my real estate career, oh my God, like I was recently just featured in a Houston magazine for selling one of the top 10 most expensive homes in Houston in February. And that was, thank you. And that business solely came from my network. And it's, the piece I think that a lot of people miss is the value aspect, right? How do you bring value to people, right? That's how you really strengthen your network, is being a valuable resource and bringing value to them, right? And so that deal came from my network. And so those are the type of deals that honestly, I don't feel like Black women in real estate get too often, unfortunately. But just being able to leverage my network to create those opportunities for myself has been amazing. And it really has been, life altering and life changing in my real estate business and career.
Absolutely, because relationship building is just so important, and I think it's oftentimes it's a lost art. Like very few, like people are so transactional now, and so having that long-term rapport with somebody, you'd be surprised with, like, people have you in conversations in rooms, you're like, and will call you up. So I can't imagine how often that probably happens for you with people looking for a house and moving around often.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm so grateful for it, right? Because there was a point in time when nobody was saying my name in any room, So yes,
And what changed that? Like, could you talk about, because I know you had a strategy, because I'm like, to go from engineers are the most analytical, calculated when planning things. So please, like, talk about the leap in the change and the pivot.
You know what? I always liked the technical corporate life, right? But I got to a point to where I was really, really bored with it. And I felt like that, hey, you know what? I'm just sitting here making this company rich, and I know my impact is greater. I can touch so many people. I have a gift that I can share with the world, and so I got to the point where I had kind of got bored, and I've always had a real estate license, right? So I actually got into real estate not to be a realtor, not to be a real estate, to be a real estate professional that service buyers and sellers. My sole purpose for getting a real estate license was to be able just to invest for myself, right? But as I grew in my corporate career, I got bored and I got tired of playing the corporate game. I was exhausted with playing the corporate game. I mean, you mean to tell me I got to go and I got to do all this only to get a 5% bonus increase?
Yeah. So I love the lean in. She was like, "Are you feeling me though?"
I'm telling you, no, seriously. Like, look at the skill set and the knowledge of people that make these Fortune 500 companies go around, right? And in my opinion, they do a great job, but they're not always valued. The way that they should be. And they're not always giving the opportunities that they are striving every day to get in those corporate careers. And your fate is at in the hands of somebody else. The company needs to lay off people. It might just be you, know? And sometimes those decisions are made just by, company shares are down. We're letting go of half the company. Those aren't calculated decisions. Sometimes they're just made, next week, we got to let go half the company to keep our doors open. So I also bored. I was, again, tired of playing the corporate game. And then I didn't want my destiny to be in the fate of someone else's hands, right? So what happened is I said, I'm going to start taking this real estate stuff serious, right? I had a whole real estate license for like 7 years before I took it serious. I was like, I'm going to start taking this real estate stuff serious, right? And I'm going to put myself out there as much as I can. And I'm going to give the most value possible, right? But honestly, real estate was a hobby. So I maybe had like sold a couple of houses a month. So I didn't have this big database. I wasn't known for being a realtor. So I was like, I'm just gonna put myself out there on social media, and I'm going to give the most value that I possibly can. And what I learned is being valuable to people. Oh my God, it will be reciprocated tenfold. Wow. You want business? Give value, solve people's problems, right? And so that's what I did, guys. And here I am 5 years later. So me and my cousin, Jamisha, who you guys see on the show, she's the broker of the brokerage that we created, going on 6 years now, right? But one day I just wanted to sell real estate. And one day she woke up and was like, you know what, we're going to open up a real estate brokerage. And I'm like, okay. So I always tell the story that I was voluntold, right? But in actuality, we had always been working in real estate, as you know, as partners in real estate, our entire real estate career. My grandmother gave us the money to go to real estate school in 2012, right? So we had always been working in it, even though we did have corporate jobs and things like that. And I'm so grateful that she did that and said that, right? And kind of forced me to say, hey, we're going to open this real estate brokerage, because what people don't know and what people have not seen about us is that the road hasn't always been easy. You know, we've experienced everything that you can think of: racism, you know, sexism, you know, all of those things. Racism from our own broker. There was a broker that called us Monique and Unique, that he said, you guys look like the ladies off Babs.
Wow. The audacity,
right? So we got to the point where we're like, we're going to find another brokerage. This is not working. Yeah. Got to looking. And like, we just can't find anything that feels like us, like that values the things that we value, that has core values the way that we do, that it just, you know, act and live their lives as people first, you know, the way that we will. So she was like, we're going to open up our own brokerage.
Right.
Like, okay. Yeah. And so that's the thing, you know, if you can't find it, create it. And that's exactly what we did.
I love that. Now, I'm glad you led us into that with you and your sister cousins. The show, we get to go behind the scenes and follow your journey. Yeah. How has the dynamic of being so close with your cousins helped you relate to women and enrich your women empowerment stance?
Yeah, so it honestly, it has helped me understand that, you know, not every woman is catty. And, you know, there are women out here that want to cheer each other on and want you to succeed, you know, and I guess that was kind of just embedded in us. You know, our grandmother was like, you know, you support your family is everything. You support your family. You know, you love your family. You show up for your family. So, you know, honestly, kind of like having the circle of my sisters and cousins, you know, it did teach me early on that women can be supportive and cheer one another on, you know, and not be catty and envious and things like that. You know, so I mean, it's been actually a true blessing to me, because, like I said, it showed me women in a different light.
It's so inspiring. Key and I were talking about this before recording today's show, and it's just funny how, I don't know if every ethnicity is like this, but how close we can be to our cousins. So it's just nice to see your family really embrace that and build a business, a legacy that will live on, especially at the encouragement and support of your grandmother. So yeah, salute to you all for that.
Thank you.
Now we got to get into this HBCU business. Oh, go ahead, Key.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, shout out to your grandmother, because I think that's not only instilling the principles of family, but also in legacy and wealth building. So for her to invest in y'all, like, of course, I know y'all had high hopes and belief, but I'm like, did you see yourself here? Like on reality TV, like one of the top sellers? Like, come on, Granny saw it.
Yeah. You know what? That is so true, right? Because, you know, we were just taught to get up and work hard, you know, and you will reap what you sow through hard work and determination and consistency and never giving up, right? But I never thought I would reap it like this, you know. Yeah. I'm grateful, right? And you know, sometimes
shout out to her planting those seeds.
Yeah, but it was her planting those seeds. I watched her, like I've told people before. People were like, "Why you get up so early?" I was like, "Cause my grandmother got up early. She used to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. When we would spend the night at her house, she would be the first one up, getting ready to go to her businesses and things like that. You know, I saw that, you know, and I emulate that. You know, yeah.
Oh man. That's such a blessing. So I was going to ask about HBCUs. You went to PV.
The PV University.
Excuse me, the PV. Yeah. So how would you say your HBCU has shaped you and how you approach business?
Oh my goodness. So going to Prairie View has taught me to be fearless and relentless, and that I can conquer and do any and everything. And I didn't have that confidence before I went.
Wow.
I did not have that confidence before I went. I know a lot of people think that HBCUs are like party schools and all this stuff, but let me tell you this: every school is a party school. Being frank. But I saw a lot of Black people in leadership. I saw a lot of Black people doing good things. I saw a lot of Black people, even at our age, even when the county down there didn't want Prairie View students to vote, fighting for our rights. You know what I'm saying? And so like that instilled to me like, hey, we can do anything. We literally can do anything. And so like, I'm just so proud that I went there because like I said, it taught me, I saw another side of Black people that I did not see beforehand. I went to a mixed school and things like that, but like intelligent Black people doing their thing, really setting themselves up for success and really focusing on, what it takes to, just do the right things, like that. I'm like, hey, honey, we can do it all. Let me tell y'all something. The day President Obama won to be a student at Prairie View A&M University,
y'all went up.
that we went up, but it was a sense of pride. You know what I'm saying? I've never been anywhere where I've been so proud to be a Black person in America than at Prairie View.
Wow. Meanwhile, we were at Baylor fighting for our lives.
like unity.
But no, seriously, it was a totally different experience. But of course, not to get into the debate of PWIs and HBCUs, but I will say I have friends who went to HBCUs, and I agree. I feel like going to an HBCU is like your first time, like going to Atlanta. Like you're like, oh my God, this is Wakanda. Like it's literally, you look you see Black entrepreneurship, you see Black leadership, you see Black excellence. And
Absolutely.
So shout out to the HBCUs continuing, because I mean, let's be honest, like Baylor, they called it the Harvard of the South, and it was very, very white. And the academics that part was easy. It was the lack of community. It was some of those things that made it very hard at times. And that's where, I met Angie B, but I met Angela. It was like the Black community, we clung to each other. Yeah. And so like you partied, like you said, you partied everywhere. We were the largest Baptist university, and everything ended at 9. Like everything closed at 9. We was so messed up because what else was there to do? Like in Waco, Texas. So absolutely. But shout out to the HBCUs, because also I want to touch on how they do so much with a little. Like and continue, because in comparison to the PWIs and the funding and the grants and the support,
that seems to be still getting cut to this day,
absolutely.
And we've always made a way.
And still producing cream of the crop, obviously. Obviously.
Cream of the crop, and always made a way. That's one thing we're gonna do as a community. We're gonna push through, and we're gonna figure it out, and not let barriers like what's going on today stop us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great question, Lauren. You be on.
I try a bit. Well, Nicole, we thank you so much for coming by and stopping with us. Is there anything we need to keep up with that we need to know, and make sure you for sure tell us where to follow you on social media?
Absolutely. So
anything we need to watch? Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Oh, I don't know. We still working on, just being very transparent, we're still working on that. Like, that's the number one question I've been getting asked. Like, is the show coming back? Is the show coming back? It's still a lot of talks and things in the works. So I don't have a definite yes or no, to be honest. And I wish I had more information, but y'all know how these production companies and networks are. I feel like they try to keep you in the dark a little bit so that when they do come back, you're not prepared for them.
Okay.
Seriously. So whatever's going on at that time, they want to catch that raw, authentic, whatever is going on in your life. So I think they're kind of doing that to us a little bit, but I don't know. I wish I had more.
No worries at all. When you do know, let us know so we can promote, so we can do all the things and share and everything.
You have our
support.
Yes,
in the meantime, where can we find you? Where can
you can find me on pretty much all the major social media platforms that exist: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. I am Mrs. MRSNIKKI Handy on most of those platforms. Or if you search Nicole Handy, the easiest way to find me, honestly, guys, is just Google Nicole Handy Houston. I will come up
Okay.
everywhere.
Google
Right?
She
me.
said,
She
she
said
said, Google me,
Google me.
baby.
Did that sound big-headed? Like Google me.
Not at
No,
all. You've done the work, man. What we talking
absolutely.
about?
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. But I also want to also recognize my brokerage, Braden Real Estate Group, here in Houston too, because we are a collective of mostly Black and women realtors. We have some men. We
Yes.
love our men too, but we're mostly Black and women realtors out here actively working to service buyers and sellers and get people in homes and allow them to create their generational wealth here in the Houston area. So you can look us up as well. Braden Real Estate Group. Our website is bradenregroup.com. But again, it's not too many things that we don't service. We are very big on generational wealth. So we do want to get as many people in homes as possible and make that happen for them.
There it is. Home ownership is tangible. Make sure you check in with Nicole and her team. Thank you again so much for stopping by and kicking it with us for a little bit. We're definitely going to have you back, so no worries.
Thank you,
Yes,
ladies.
thank
I love this.
you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for the support and best of luck. We can't wait to check in.
Y'all somebody call Carlos at Oprah and tell them we need it.
We got him on the line right now, girl. Bring it back. Family Empire.
Thanks, ladies. Y'all have a wonderful
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
All right.
It's nothing like a pretty girl with pretty energy. I just feel so inspired.
Right. Corporate
What a
baddies.
great
I love it.
period. It's nothing we can't do. So that was a really great conversation.